Hello. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be here. My name is Haylie Grammer and I am here today to talk to you about clienteling and essentially how to provide amazing customer service to your customers. So clienteling, right? That's such a fancy word. It's like a buzzword. I'm a real big fan of buzzwords. Lots of times people are like, oh, there she is using buzzwords again. But I feel like in the direct selling industry, we have a lot of buzzwords, but I like them. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you have buzzwords that your people, your direct selling people know, and you hear them like out in the wild, you could be like, oh my God, that girl said clienteling. I think she's one of us. And you can connect with them, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, you like have a automatic connection and an automatic, life that you can share. So I'm all about the buzzword, okay? So let's talk about this buzzword, clienteling. This is like one of my favorite things in the whole world to talk about. Because, well, number one, I love to sell things. Like I was like a natural born seller. Like I'm a natural born hustler. I love to sell. I love to make money. And clienteling goes right into that because it combines selling with like, a personal connection, which I also like freaking thrive off of. So I'm real pumped about it. Okay, so what is clienteling? It's essentially just a fancy word for providing good, intense customer service, personalized service to your customers, okay? So let me say this. In the world today, all right, your average person is not really accustomed to being clienteled, okay? They're not accustomed to living the life where they have this type of personalized service, okay? It's normally something reserved for the wealthy, let's be honest, right? So wealthy people, they have certain sales associates at certain stores who are looking out for certain things for them, or they have like personal stylists at certain stores, and when something that they think that their client would like, right, they call them up or they text them, they're like, hey, I just got this in, check it out. And then the client's like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with that. Thank you so much. That's clienteling. That's all it is like looking out for your client and providing them with some type of personalized customer service. Now, lots of reasons why I'm obsessed with clienteling. Okay, it gets even better than that. And that is because when that client, okay, gets that message and it's something that they want or something that they need or something that makes their life easier or something that adds value to their life and they're happy about it, that comes back like to you, the person who sold it to them, as like that warm fuzzy feeling and like that, I don't know, chemical stuff that happens in the brain when things like are happy. So like it feeds back to you. So I mean, really, I'm gonna be honest. It's like it's a selfish thing, You're making money, number one, but also you're getting that feedback, which makes you feel better. So again, I am a selfish person. I talk about it all the time. I'm here to serve Haylie. That's me. But at the same time, in helping others, I feel good about it too. So it all comes back. It's a good thing. All right, so let's talk about like some key aspects of clienteling and how, number one, the amazing Amy app helps us. Okay, so if you're here and you're not an Amy app user, you need to get on it because your life is incomplete at the moment and will not be complete until you integrate this into your systems. If you are an Amy user, then you already know what I'm talking about and you know how amazing it is. So I'm just gonna point out a couple of things as I go about how like I use the Amy app in clienteling and how it makes it a lot easier to do. Okay, so first thing in clienteling, you need to know who your client is, okay? And this is a big deal because you'd be like, well, obviously it's people who would buy from you. No, it's not people who would buy from you. It's people who are already buying from you, okay? So, of course we want new leads. Of course we want to get new customers, yes. But until they are actually your customer, they're not really your client yet unless they have expressed a deep interest in being in one-on-one contact with you. So this is where, this is like the number one step in setting yourself apart from the spam people, in setting yourself to be a good customer service, is you can't clientele people who are not your client yet, okay? So that's the number one thing. This is not, the stuff I'm gonna talk about is not for like cold messaging or any like of that, okay? That's where you're stepping into that aspect of getting spammy. This is for people who are already your clients, okay? Already your people who buy from you, they're already shopping for you. So they're, either they filled out your contact form in Amy or they've already bought from you and you're following up with them, okay? So number one rule, you can't clientele someone who's not your client. So who are your clients? They're the people who would buy from you, okay? So that's the people who you're looking out for, all right? So you have to get to know these people, like real know. And I talk to my team and all these people about this all the time, is the direct sales industry is changing. There used to be a time and a place where you could, live in the direct sales world where you could go and you could have your direct sales business completely separate from your personal life. You would go to in-home parties and things, and you would come back and have your personal life. Well, the world of social media has changed that. And it's kind of impossible. And it's it's a good thing for us though, because what it does is the social media aspect gives us an insight to our client's life, and we're able to know about them. So by keeping up with them on social media, you're able to know, okay, this girl, she's got a wedding coming up. So maybe she's going to need a new makeup look, or maybe she's going to need some new nail polish, or maybe she's going to need a new body product or whatever, right? So you're able to keep track on them, or be like, actually, you know what? Her dad just died, so I'm technically scheduled to follow up with her this week, but I'm not going to. And instead, actually, I'm just going to send her a condolence card with something free. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about. All right, so that's your clients. Number two is your feelings don't matter. I know that sounds terrible, but in doing this, you cannot wear your feelings on your shoulder. I was gonna say your sleeves on your shoulder, but you can wear your sleeves on your shoulder, but not your feelings. Okay, because some people, when you reach out to them and you're like, hey, I know you're obsessed with red. We got this new red shirt in, and it would look so good on you. And then they don't answer. You can't take that personally. It's okay, because you don't really know what's going on in their life. You don't know. You don't know that maybe at that moment when you texted her, she was driving 7 kids on a carpool to soccer practice, and someone spilled a milkshake in her back seat, and she's screaming at them. You don't know what's happening. So she may have got your text message and read it, but maybe she didn't process it, and she's like, I'll get to it later, and she doesn't. You can't let it hurt your feelings, and you can't let it stop you, okay? You can't let it stop you from following up with her the next time because you didn't get a response last time. Now, of course, there's a limit to that, right? We can't just be spamming people all the time. You got to take a hint, but you just need to understand that people have things going on in their lives, and you can't take that personally and be like, well, I'm never reaching out to them again because they didn't respond, okay? You can't be like that. Okay, the next thing is you have to be available, all right? Once you've set up this relationship with your client and they know that you're looking out for them, they are also going to reach out to you when they want something, right? So they're going to be like, hey, I have a wedding coming up. I need a new dress. Can you be on the lookout? You have to be available. You can't be reply to that, be like, well, my business hours are Monday through Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., I'll get to you then. No, you can't do that. You have to be available, because what if that wedding is in 2 days? She needs something now. She can't wait for your business hours, right? So people who are real pumped about business hours, they're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she's saying that. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's true. Okay, and then you have to be, again, helpful and not spammy. So, and by helping people, what you're doing is you're adding value to their life, okay? And so that means that you are actually contributing to the goodness of their life. That means that you're helping them. That means that you're reminding them about things. So let me be honest, okay? I know this is going to blow some of your minds, but our customers are not waiting around in our VIP groups and looking at our social media 24/7, wondering when we're going to post the next product or the new launch. I know. They're just not, okay? They've got their own lives going on. And yes, they may really, really love that new holiday nail strip or those new holiday scents that are coming out. But that doesn't mean that they're just waiting for you to message them, okay? So you've got to take that upon yourself. When something launches, you've got to be like, hey, I need to let my people know. And that goes beyond just an email blast or just a posting in your VIP group. It goes to specific customer service. And by doing that, you're making their life easier because, for example, I have a makeup girl that I buy my mascara from. And she follows up with me all the time. She's like, hey girl, it looks like you're probably running low on mascara. And I'm like, yes, I am. Please order me some. And you know what? She makes my life easier because I don't even have to do anything. I just pay an invoice and it shows up. I don't have to go to a website. I don't have to do any of that. So by providing that personalized service, you're adding value to their life and you're making their life easier. And what that's going to do is that's going to create loyalty, and it's going to create referrals for you, because they're gonna be like, somebody's gonna be like, oh, I need a new mascara, like it's terrible, this is not working. I go to Ulta, no one helps me or whatever, and they're like, listen, okay, I've got a girl, I'm gonna give you her number, just text her, she will hook you up. And then they text you, and then you're like, listen, all you gotta do is pay this invoice, it's so easy, and it just shows up on their doorstep. You are adding to their life and you are adding value, and because you are like a legitimate service to these people, they're going to share you because you mean something to them and they are happy with it. So where Amy comes in all of this, of course, is with like the messaging and whatnot. So for example, when the launch happens, I kind of go through, I update my message templates, and then I start, looking for people. Who are my people that like red? Because we just had a new red come out, and I'm going to send them a message. Who are my people that like green? I'm going to, that type of thing. So you can do that. And then of course, life happens, right? Life happens. It's hard sometimes to follow up, but we have to, okay? And if you this clienteling thing isn't something that you can do like part ways sometime and not the other time. Like you can't just like clientele for 2 weeks and then take 6 months off and then hop back in people's PMs and be like, hey, I heard you're out of mascara. She's like, yeah, I was 6 months ago, so I found someone else. Like you got to commit, you got to be available, you got to do it full time. And what Amy enables us to do is it reminds us and keeps these people in our mind, so we don't have to have a paper binder that we look through every day all the time to figure out who we need to message and who we need to follow up with. So I hope this has helped you. I hope it's given you like a little bug, so you get a little fire under you, so you can get to clienteling and get to helping those people and adding value to their life, because that's what keeps them coming back to you and referring you to their friends. And that's what keeps that loyalty, is when you make that connection with them, they are going to continue to come to you and they're going to share you. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, of course, just drop them below, and I will see you around town, the Amy town, right?